Hey guys, welcome to another video. My name is Mark, aka the Tridion Ted, and today we're going to be having a look at how we add application references into the CME and make them appear in the left-hand menu system. Okay, so let's get on. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is create an empty MVC application. Okay, so we're just going to use the default options for creating the MVC application. We're not going to make any changes to it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is make a simple change to the title of the page, and we just call it MVC test app or something like that. Okay, we'll save that, and then what we'll do is we'll publish out the application. Okay, we'll publish it out to a folder. Just wait for that to publish. While it's doing that, we'll add the application inside IIS. Okay, so the output of that will be in bin release publish output. Okay, and it's successfully published that out. So what we do is we'll copy this content of the folder, because IIS doesn't have permissions outside here, and we'll add this into the CINet pub folder as a separate application. Obviously you could put this anywhere, just make sure that the permissions on IIS allow it to run the application from where you've put it. So just create a new folder for this application. And we'll copy the contents in there. And we'll copy this path into our clipboard so we can add it into IIS. Okay, now we can close Visual Studio. We've finished with that. Okay, and once inside IIS, it's just going to add another application. You can either add it inside Tridion, which is what we'll do today for speed, but you probably want to add it as a separate application outside of Tridion for a production environment, just to keep it completely isolated. So we'll find the SDL Web application, and inside there we'll add another application, and we'll just paste in the path that we took from earlier, and we'll use that as the alias for the application as well. Okay, and you can see it's been added there. We'll close IIS now. Okay, so we've got the test MVC application running inside an application in the SDL Web website in IIS. The next thing we need to do is to add it into the left-hand navigation menu. And those left-hand navigation menus are controlled through the manifests, and the manifests are stored in Tridion, Web, SDL, manifests. So you can see out of the box we have this WCM item, which stands for Web Content Management. And we can have a quick look at the out-the-box installation and see what that drives for us. So you can see that we've got this Web Content Management item already, and underneath there you have separate links for activities, sites, Context Explorer, etc. And if we have a look at the XML file that drives this, it's called manifest.xml, you can see how these are actually controlled. So the top level, you've got the application entry point group, and this has a title of Web Content Management, and you can see this maps across to the top level here, and underneath there you have items for activities, sites, Context Explorer, topology management, and translations, etc. And you can see these appear over here on the left hand side. You can also see it supports translations, so that people in these different markets, German, Spanish, etc., they will see the menu items in their language. Something to note, that if an item type has a type of home, then when you click on it, it will state out and it won't collapse in when you click on it. Like some of these, if you click on these, this left-hand navigation menu will disappear. If you have a type of home, then it will stay expanded out, which might be quite useful if you want to use this as your main navigation inside your application. And you can also see that these have icons next to them, and you can see how those are controlled. You can see that they've got an icon path, which you'll need to host inside your application so that they can be rendered. So to add our test MVC application, what we're going to do is we're just going to duplicate that folder, and we'll call it test MVC. And we'll just delete the bits that we don't need. So we don't need the translations. And we'll give it the application suite ID of test MVC. Okay, and we're just going to give these two different titles so we can make sure that we can know it's ours. Okay, and once that's saved, the next thing to do is to tell Tridion to load this manifest file. And the way we do that is by adding it in as an item in the settings XML file. The setting XML file is in Tridion Web SDL. So let's find that now. So Tridion Web SDL settings.xml. So you can see out of the box we have just this one item, and we can just add our item in underneath that. And we can tell it where that manifest exists. We can save this file, and we can close that. Okay, so now what you want to do is you want to clear your cache. I've tried modifying the modification attribute in the system.config file, but that doesn't seem to clear the cache, and it doesn't seem to update this left-hand navigation. So I've got this open, and I've disabled cache down here. And if I can just do a quick refresh, then when that loads, I should see the new left-hand item menu for the one we just added. Okay, so now it's loaded. Let's have a look. Okay, so you can see we've got this test MVC application, top level menu item, and then you click on that. And then that shows the home link, which is what we put in as our test home link. And if you click on that, that loads up our MVC test application inside Tridion. And then you can just use that to navigate back, and you can go back into the Content Explorer, and you can switch between the two seamlessly, and the application is sitting and running inside Tridion. Thank you very much. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.